Okay, this is a video to try to help you guys figure out what conic section is which, given an equation or a set of parameters, what you're trying to get to. So you have your sheet with all the equations, and we're going to talk about the overriding themes of what makes a parabola, an ellipse, an ellipse. First of all, parabolas, there's a squared in it, but only one of the two are squared. If it's a y-squared parabola, we know that it goes left or right. And if it's an x-squared parabola, we know that it goes up or down. The big thing here is that there's only one of the two terms that is squared. For a circle, you have an x-squared and a y-squared term, and it won't look like this, but the prevailing characteristic of a circle is going to be the x and the y are going to both have the same coefficient in front of them, and there's going to be a plus sign in front. And then you'll move the numbers around until you have an r over here by itself, and you'll have an equation that looks like this. A hyperbola, again, you're going to have an x squared and a y squared. You'll have different coefficients. On this one, there'll be a minus sign in between the two, so basically the x squared and the y squared will have different signs. Same thing for an ellipse. The only difference for the ellipse is you'll have a plus sign on them. You'll have an x squared and a y squared with different coefficients. You'll end up with a 1 over here on the right, and there'll be a plus sign. All right, how does that translate into a set of problems? So here we have a set of problems that asks you to identify the conic section, figure out what it is, and go from there. So problem like this: x squared, no y squared, and x squared without a y squared is a parabola. This would be an up-down parabola, and you'd want to turn it into the up-down parabola form. You'd want to turn it into the x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k form. Here I have an x squared and a y squared. They're both positive. The leading coefficients are different. This would be an ellipse. This one was a parabola. Here, again, I have an x squared and a y squared. This one is separated by a minus sign. X squared, y squared separated by a minus sign would be a hyperbola. Here I have x squared, y squared, separated by minus sign, different coefficients, another hyperbola. Here I only have a y squared only, no x squared. This is going to be a left-right parabola. And here I have x squared and y squared. They're separated by a plus sign, but they have the same leading coefficient. X squared, y squared with the same leading coefficient will be a circle.